Boy, I know a lot of you foreign students are panicking right now. Y'all thought it was only going to be illegals that was going to be deported, huh? Listen, all of you foreign exchange students, you better hope you weren't a part of this. Because if you were out there chanting, "The river to the sea, Palestine will be free! Palestine will be free!" President Trump is saying, "From the river to the sea, go back to your country, your country." And again, I say, if you were caught on camera keeping people from entering into college while you were out there protesting and supporting Hamas and things like that, you know what I'm gonna say. You might as well go ahead and
get your shit, and get out.
How are you guys all doing? Welcome to the channel. I am Ty Smith. You're watching my channel, Model Renaissance Man, which I'm greatly appreciative of. Make sure that you're following me on all the platforms that you see above and below. Hitting this thumbs up gives my content a great push out, and it also helps keep my content consistently recommended to you. And do not forget, ladies and gentlemen, that when you subscribe to the channel, to hit the bell notification in the process. That way you will be notified when I post a video. Lastly, go over to my other YouTube channel called Man, Husband, Father, where I will be putting new content on there that has nothing to do with politics. And again, it's called Man, Husband, Father. Type it in your search part in YouTube and you will find it. You will know that it's me when you see it, okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, I got this late last night. So, of course, when you're watching this, you're watching a pre-recorded video, but I had to do it. Yes, and it's like, let me see. It's like 1:30 in the morning, and I have to bring you guys this news, okay? I have to bring y'all this news, and I 100% love it. Now, I know there's going to be some of y'all going to have your differences, whatever like that, when it comes to Israel itself, but we're talking about here in America, right? Check this out. Trump orders review to identify, punish, and deport anti-Semites, including students on visas. Uh-oh. President Trump signed an executive order Wednesday instructing federal agencies to identify all civil and criminal authorities available to combat anti-Semitism, including finding ways to deport anti-Jewish activists who violated laws. The order first, get scared. Some of y'all, we're going to see how much of y'all from the river to the sea, some of y'all that was out there. Let me slow down. The order first reported by the Post requires agency and department leaders to provide the White House with recommendations within 60 days and outlines plans for the Justice Department to investigate pro-Hamas graffiti and intimidation, including on college campuses. Let's go. Let's go. I told y'all, look, I'm not going to say who and how, but there were ways where I and others were able to write certain state officials, certain congressmen and congresswomen about this. And it seemed like it was heard. In fact, I know it was heard about this happening. Reason being, you guys remember when I went viral because I spoke out against CRT. My son was attending that school when they tried to do that bull crap, right? I didn't know it was being recorded. Anyway, y'all all know the whole story, blah, blah, blah. Now, because my son is in college, I sat there and I watched as some people tried to go to class. These people didn't even know if they were Jewish or not. There were black people that they didn't show y'all on the news. They were trying to go to class, but because these people were out there pro-Palestine, they would not denounce Hamas. Black Lives Matter even supported Hamas. These people were being blocked from going to school, and they purposely targeted some Jewish students, which y'all saw. Now, keep that in mind, okay? Hold that thought. Jewish students have faced an unrelenting barrage of discrimination, denial of access to campus, common areas of facilities, including libraries and classrooms, and intimidation, harassment, and physical threats and assault, the order says. It shall be the policy of the United States to combat anti-Semitism vigorously, using all available and appropriate legal tools to prosecute, remove, and otherwise hold to account the perpetrators of unlawful anti-Semitic harassment and violence. The executive order calls for deportation of resident aliens, including students with visas who broke laws as part of anti-Israel protests following the October 7, 2023 terrorist attack that sparked the invasion of Gaza. The Secretary of State of Education and Secretary of Homeland Security shall include in their reports recommendations for familiarizing institutions of higher education with grounds to inadmissibly under Section 8, blah, 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 blah. So such institutions may monitor and report activities by alien students and staff relevant to those grounds, and ensuring that such reports about aliens lead as appropriate and consistent with applicable law to investigations, and if warranted, actions to remove such aliens. Oh boy, y'all students, I'm getting ready to see how bold y'all are going to be right now. I'm loving this. 6 Republican-led House committees issued a report last month calling the federal government to do more to address anti-Semitism, including by conditioning federal aid to colleges to force stricter policies against anti-Jewish bias. The report focused heavily on Columbia University, the site of a large encampment that featured many documented instances of anti-Jewish remarks against both pro-Israel activists and Jewish students, and noted that allegedly permissive colleges took in $2.7 billion in federal funds in the fiscal year of 2023. The State Department and Department of Homeland Security under President Joe Biden stonewalled records requests about the number of visas holders among those protesters, the House GOP reported. Trump, as a candidate, called for deporting pro-Hamas students who are in the U.S. on visas, and last week signed a different executive order that seemed to hint at steps towards that goal. That order contained a passage that called for the U.S. to ensure that admitted aliens and aliens otherwise already present in the United States do not support designated foreign terrorists, though the intended effect of the wording was not immediately clear. College presidents summoned to Congress in December 2023 infamously refused to say if calling for genocide of Jews constituted punishable conduct. Y'all remember that? I remember that like the back of my hand. That was crazy. Hate speech generally is illegal. It said hate speech generally is illegal in the U.S., but the House GOP report released last month argues that federal law bars recipients of taxpayer funds from tolerating discrimination, allowing a way to force recipients to stiffen policies. Federal courts also have found that non-citizens have fewer free speech rights. The Supreme Court ruled in the landmark 1972 case Kleindienst and Mendel that the government could refuse a visa to a Belgian Marxist after prior court cases affirmed the deportation of anarchists and communist non-citizens. Some of the best known instances of activism in support of Hamas, which massacred about 1,200 Jewish residents of southern Israel, occurred in Washington, D.C. when multiple protesters carried banners supporting the group of Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu addressed Congress in July. Zaid Mohammed Madawi, the 26-year-old president of the Richmond, Virginia chapter of American Muslims for Palestine, was arrested for allegedly climbing atop a monument near the Capitol and spray painting "Hamas is coming." Trump's attempt to crack down on anti-Semitism, including likely by withholding federal funds, comes on the heels of his orders to temporarily freeze federal aid and distribution of pending federal grants, the latter of which was paused Tuesday by a federal judge. In his first term, Trump also used the threat of yanking federal funds in response to a nationwide anti-police rioting following the May 2020 murder of George Floyd. That's questionable. Allegedly murdered. Anyway, Trump ordered steps to defund New York City, Portland, and Seattle for allegedly doing little to quell the unrest. He left office before the threat was fulfilled, though the Justice Department certified the cities for the chopping block. So what I'm saying that for, ladies and gentlemen, is this. The same thing they did when they went after the J6 protesters, it's going to be the same thing they're going to do against them. And all of you who were in this, participating in this, you guys' faces and stuff are on the video. You guys' face are on the internet. And you know what? Those of you that were doing it and you're a foreigner, I hope you get caught and I hope that you get deported. No, y'all can say what you want to. Oh, no. I told y'all. We're at a point right now where we should not be making any threats. And I'm glad that Tom Homan and Trump is doing that. It's no longer a threat, and they say they're not apologizing. Coming in and whooping butt. Get out. You foreign students, the privilege you had of being in our United States to take advantage of the opportunities that we allowed you, had the nerve to come in and throw out racial slurs, joining in on this woke wave, and look what it's going to do to you. Yes, I hope you get deported and you have to reapply for your visa and you have to reapply to come back into our United States the right way. I know some of you, if you are students and you are from another country, most likely your parents are from that country, you probably going to completely piss them off. They're probably going to beat you over your head because the things that you were allowed to do in our country, you know that when you go back, it's going to be a target on you. You went to the United States and you screwed up, huh? You thought that this is going to last forever. We tried to warn you idiots. Now, some people argue, well, that's not the Constitution. That's not right. Our Constitution said freedom of speech. Oh, wait. Now you idiots want to holler freedom of speech, right? You want to holler freedom of speech, but yet at the same time, for the last 4 years or more, you idiots was all, hate speech. You can't call me a man. You can't call me a woman. How dare you? Remember all that? I told you I wasn't going to let this stuff go. You guys was calling any and everything hate speech this. Hey, you wanted to silence and censor individuals that were speaking their mind that may have a different opinion of you. Hate speech, misinformation, disinformation. What about our own God-given birthright free speech that we have under the Constitution? Right? That's us. Y'all wanted them to silence us. But y'all were cool with them throwing out genocide type messages against Jews. Y'all were cool with them shutting down college campuses, and these dumb college campuses went along with this nonsense. From presidents to professors, which we know that there's some professors on cameras too, should be completely fired for doing something like this, completely un-American. You, as an American, should be behind our most awesome, divinely inspired Constitution that's the longest running Constitution in the world right now. You should be behind that despite of what you feel or what you think. You should actually be behind and protesting and making sure that it's being heard that Americans have freedom of speech. Now, you can say, I don't like what you're saying, but you still should be able to root for somebody to continue saying, because that's our God-given right and that's our Constitution. Now, with that being said, some people try to jump in here, and there's going to be lawyers and all that is going to say, well, these people were doing what America allows. In America, you have freedom of speech. Really? Do you? Are you sure about that? Are you sure about that? Because last time I checked, and I've been across seas, when we go to another country, we have to respect that country rules, regulations, and laws, right? Right? So, what happened to those girls that went over to Dubai, got all loud and started doing a whole bunch of racket? What happened? They got locked up, right? You got to abide by their rules and regulations. You come over here, right? And you start calling for the death of Jewish people. You start attacking Jewish students. You start keeping them from going into their classroom. And all because the Biden administration allowed it to happen. It still was not right, and it still was not lawful, and it still wasn't constitutional. Those people had their freedom of speech themselves. They paid for school, they paid for college, and y'all blocked them from going, intimidating them, put your hands on them, push them, threaten their lives, right? And now you're going to face the consequences of it. So now check this out. Why do you say that, Ty? Yes, folks, I'm 100% all about freedom of speech. And at the same time, I'm also about the consequences of the freedom of speech. If you right now make a threat on someone's life or something like that at a school, witnesses hear you say it, you are going to be liable to the consequences that come with making life-threatening, vulgar messages. Yes. So now get ready to face the consequences of that. You sat there, you played the game, you rode the wave of wokeism, and now you're getting ready to pay the consequences of it. Now, guys, before I let y'all go, there's one more thing y'all need to pay attention to in this message as well. Trump said civil. So some of you college students that are from America, you guys are included in that too. No, we're not talking about y'all going to be deported. But it seemed like you guys are getting ready to definitely have some punishment coming your way. And you better hope to God that you were not on any federal funded, like a Pell Grant, any of that, a scholarship. You better hope that you weren't on anything in that college involving anything to where you were getting money from the federal government. So with that being said, I'm ready for it. I hope and pray that I'm able to see those who will be getting deported, because you know your boy is going to be reporting on it and showing y'all and pointing my finger and laughing all the way. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure y'all let me know what y'all think about all this. Do you think those students should be deported? What do you think should happen to our own students that are here? Leave that in the comment section after this video. Don't forget to do what y'all see in that animation right there. If you would like to see the next video that I will be doing in chronological order, it's right there. Things that I do as a variety right here. I am Ty Smith, modern Renaissance man, hoping and praying that every last one of you guys have food, shelter, and clothing. Most of all, praying every last one of you guys are in great health mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. God bless you all through Jesus.